Hello, this is SJ Talks in Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm giving you an update on the Shanqella Robinson case. I said that I'm gonna be coming on here giving you guys updates about that. You know what? I haven't been able to get this out of my mind ever since I found out more details about the situation with Shanqella. I haven't been able to, especially since I did the last video, I have not been able to get this out of my mind. This is very disturbing to me, especially looking at that video, that picture, the clip of that video of her getting beaten. I just have not been able to get it out of my mind. And any content creators out there, us black content creators, we need to keep talking about the story so it doesn't lose traction, because some other things have happened since then. And we need to, black content creators on here need to keep talking about this so it'll keep, because we don't want it to lose traction, and then how it goes, and then everybody forgets about it. I think it's important for us to definitely talk about it and keep up content updated on it and everything like that. But just to keep it in the forefront before it loses traction. But I know there's a lot of YouTubers, black female YouTubers on here has been covering that this case, and I'm really glad to see that. Contrary to what some people are saying on here, there are a lot of I've seen quite a few black female content creators talk about this situation, so I'm very happy to see that. They say that they're gonna get the FBI in on to investigate. The FBI is gonna step in and do an investigation about this case, and I am so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that the FBI is going to intervene and is going to look more into this case, because it's a lot of things that's not adding up. It's a lot of things that's not adding up. They say allegedly the lady that's in the first video clip, I don't want to show it on. I don't want to show the picture or play the video, whatever, on the channel, out of respect for the family, and everything. I don't want to show the clip or show the picture or anything like that. But I'm sure that it's all over YouTube, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. The picture and the video clip, the first one, as I spoke of before, of her getting beaten. That young lady's name is allegedly, her name is Dejanay Jackson, but they say that it's another video that's circulating of Winter Donovan, and they got their pictures. Other YouTubers have shown their pictures. If I find a thumbnail with those two on it, then you'll see it on the thumbnail. But Winter allegedly have another video circulating of allegedly Winter Donovan was another attacker. Remember, I said in my first video, I'm gonna put the link to that video in the description box. I said on my first video, I said there was more than one person. I believe that there was, because that's in my spirit. It was in my spirit that there was more than one person that attacked her. And they say allegedly this Winter Donovan attacked her in the bathroom, and it's supposed to be a video showing that she in fact did attack her in the bathroom. It was in my spirit that it was more than one person. That the first video we just see one person, but it was in my spirit that for some reason it was in my spirit that it was more than one person that attacked her. And allegedly, this Winter Donovan was the one that attacked her as well. The one that was filming her, oh, I didn't get his name. Um, because try to write down the names. I didn't get his name. Her friend, none of these, for the record, none of these people were her friends. None of them were, because if they were, they would have, first of all, wouldn't have been fighting with her like that, and second of all, if they see that she was seriously hurt, they would have got her to a hospital. But that's too much like right, because that would have, they know they would have been incriminating themselves. So um, I think it's quite clear that none of these people were her friends. The young man that's filming was supposed to be her best friend of 5 years, and he's telling her to fight, and she's saying no. So she didn't want to fight these ladies. Um, I guess she was probably trying to avoid confrontation, and she didn't want to fight. And this man is filming. I don't understand why people do that. I don't, particularly black men. You hear a lot of cases of black men filming black women getting um, hurt, beat, or whatever. And instead of trying to break up the situation, or instead of trying to call for help, even if you don't want to intervene, try to call for help or something, but they're standing there filming. Why do people do that? Why do people stand there and film? That's my question. Why did he stand there and film this instead of putting the phone down and going to stop the fight as a man and as her friend? Why didn't you put the phone down and stop the fight? Why did you sit there and film these ladies beast jumping on her and beating her? Why did you sit there and film it and you didn't try to stop it? You should have tried to stop it. I'm very upset by the fact that he stood there and he filmed this and gonna tell her, had the nerve to tell her to fight. No, you should have been stopping it. That's what you should have did. You should have put your phone down and stopped it. That's what you should have done. And you call her. He called himself a friend of hers, a true friend. As a man and as a friend, he should have stopped that fight. He should have stopped it. He should have been concerned about her welfare. He should have been concerned about her getting hurt. If he was a loving friend, he would have tried to do something to stop it instead of standing there filming it and telling her to fight. Which, if she said no, she didn't want to fight, okay, that's your cue to put your phone down and to put a stop to this. Nobody should be fighting anybody. Nobody should be beating up anybody. Because when you fight somebody and you beat up on somebody, that's assault. So nobody should be beating up people. Nobody should be fighting people. So he should have done the right thing and he should have put the phone down to stop it. I'm very disturbed at the fact that this man did not try to stop this situation. He just stood there and filmed it and told Shanqella to fight. And Shanqella didn't want to fight. It looks like she was trying to avoid confrontation. She didn't want to fight these ladies. She didn't want to fight them. And he was sitting up there filming and telling her to fight and should have been stopping it. I'm very disturbed at the fact that he didn't try to stop this. So, as far as I'm concerned, all of them are guilty. Now, this Nazir guy, the one that I mentioned that did a video, he claims that he got there the next day and called the nurse. And I'm trying to figure out the timeline on when this happened, because her mother said that she talked to her when she was there less than 24 hours in Cabo, Mexico. She was there less than 24 hours. Her mother said she talked to her that evening. They was going to have dinner. Okay. So I'm thinking that this happened when you look at the picture, the clip, the picture of the first fight, it looks like it's during the day. So I'm thinking that this probably happened in the morning. This Nazir character said he got there in the afternoon. He didn't get there till Saturday afternoon. So I'm thinking that this situation happened either in the morning or in the early afternoon hours. And he claims that he called a nurse and but I got it's so many. I don't understand if they seen that this young lady was hurt. If they seen that Shanquella was hurt, why didn't they get her some help? Why didn't they try to get her to? I know why they didn't try to get her to a hospital. I take that back because they didn't want to incriminate themselves because they know they beat her up. So that probably explains why they didn't try to get her to the hospital. But with this guy Nazir that came in the next day, he seen that she was obviously hurt. Okay, he said they called a nurse or whatever. Okay, well, why didn't a nurse would know to me, it seems like a nurse would have sense enough to know to try to get her to a hospital, try to call an ambulance, get her to a hospital if she seems unresponsive. Responsive, it seems to me a nurse would be able to pick that up. A nurse would be able to check her out and see that she needs medical attention. Okay, why wasn't an ambulance called? Or I don't know. I think there's some holes in his story too. But that's the story that he tells, that he didn't get there till the next day, and she was in the game room or someplace like that. And some people are saying she was in the bathroom, and I don't know. And that he sat there and stayed with her until the nurse came. And okay, well, when the nurse came, why didn't you guys send her to the hospital? Why didn't you guys call an ambulance for her to go to the hospital? So it's so many questions. I have so many unanswered questions. They saying that the other people that came back, Janae Jackson and Winter Donovan and all of them, and her so-called best friend that filmed it, came back and talked to her mother and told her mother they were all telling her mother different stories. Her friend, the one that filmed, brought her luggage back, and they went straight to her mother's house, and all of them told the mother a different story. So she said she didn't believe them. They said that she had died of alcohol poisoning, that she had alcohol poisoning. So they were all telling different stories. So she said she didn't believe them. So they were trying to cover up. They knew what happened to her. They caused it, and they were covering it up. This is very disturbing. And so I don't know how that's going to work. Mexican officials, I guess, are going to dig deep into more. They got the FBI on it, which is good. But they said that these people have disappeared and left out of North Carolina. That's okay. They're going to find them. And so I don't know if they're going to have to face trial in Mexico or how that's going to go down. The FBI is going to arrest them here and take them down to Mexico so they can stand trial. I don't know how all that's going to go down. I don't know how it goes down when you commit a crime overseas and come back to the United States. I don't know how all that goes down, but they think they running. You can run, but you can't hide. They're gonna find them, and they're gonna be brought to justice. And hopefully Shanquilla will have justice, and her family will have justice, and they will have some closure in this situation. I just keep thinking about her mother, but I think about her father as well. She had both parents in her life. She had a loving mother and a loving father, and her sister. All of them are very, very grieved about this situation, and they want answers. And my heart and prayers just go out to them. I can't even imagine, as I'm being a mother myself, I can't even imagine the pain her mother and her father must be enduring. And so I just pray that Shanquilla will get justice in this situation. They said that they have been friends for quite some time. That group of friends, these wasn't just some random people she was with. That she known them for quite some time. And I guess they had went to Mexico before, and so these wasn't just some random people that she was hanging with. These were people that she knew for quite some time. But I don't want to speculate, but I do believe that there's probably some jealousy involved. But at the end of the day, we don't have all the answers. We wasn't there. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time speculating on what might happen. Some people want to say that Winter done, or excuse me, Shanqella. Some people want to say that Shanqella had done something to make the girls mad, and we don't know. It's not right to speculate out of respect for the family. It's not right to speculate and assume that we're not gonna. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna get caught up in blaming the victim here, because it was no reason for them to jump on that girl like that. There was no reason for them to jump on her like that. You don't just jump on somebody like that. You don't do that. You're not supposed to be jumping on people. You're not supposed to be. You know how many people in my lifetime that pissed me off in my lifetime, and I didn't just jump on them and start beating them up. We don't do that as adults. We don't. That's not how we solve problems as adults. If you're a mature adult, you do not solve problems by jumping on somebody, stabbing somebody, shooting somebody. That's not how we. I tell my sons all the time, you know, you don't solve problems that way. And as adults, we do not solve problems that way. Because when you jump on somebody, guess what? It's called assault. And you can go to jail for that. So we got to learn to solve problems and work through our problems without resulting to physical violence. So nobody had no business jumping on her. They could have talked it out. No, they shouldn't have been jumping on her. Anybody that witnessed this should have tried to break the fight up. They should have tried to stop it. There was no way that that man should have been filming that and not trying to stop it. And at the nerve to sit up there and tell her to fight. She didn't want to fight. She didn't want to fight him. That should have been your cue to put that phone down and stop it. But he sat there and he filmed it. And he filmed the whole thing. He sat there and he filmed it and let those girls beat her up. I mean, if you're not an experienced fighter, you can't fight off two people if you're not an experienced fighter. If you're an experienced fighter, that's one thing. But if you're not an experienced fighter and you're not used to fighting anybody, how can one female fight off two females at the same time? And she ain't used to fighting. She ain't no experienced fighter. You can't do that. And it was in my spirit that it was more than one person. I mentioned that in the other video because it was in my spirit that it was more than one person that jumped her. And he sits there and he films it and don't try to do anything to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, they all need to be locked up. All of them need to be locked up. And we don't know how the Mexican jail system is, but it probably ain't as nice as decent as the United States. The United States is leaning on a lot of things. Other countries is more stricter. So they're going to be under some stricter penalties. It happened in Cabo, Mexico, on their soil. It didn't happen in America. So they're going to be in their prison system. And I hope and pray that these people be brought to justice. They trying to run. They can run, but they can't hide. The best thing for them to do, it would be for them to do is to turn themselves in. Turn yourself in. That would be the best thing for you to do is turn yourself in. You make yourself look even more guilty by keep constantly running away. And then it shows you have no remorse. When you keep constantly running away, it shows that you don't have no remorse about what happened. But I'm going to pray that her family gets justice and they get closure in this situation. I wanted to come on here and give you guys an update as I get more information because, they're talking about it on YouTube, and I hope that they keep putting this story out so it doesn't lose traction. And the more updates I hear on this situation, I'll come back and give you guys another update. But so far, this is what I've heard so far as far as the revelation in this story. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section about this. Um, it's sad. This is sad. It's really sad. I'm just getting so. Oh, another thing. They said that if the Mexican authorities said they're um, labeling it as a femicide. If they decide that it's a femicide, they're trying to decide whether to charge as a femicide or a homicide. If they find out that she got murdered because of her gender, then that'll be femicide. But other than that, if they don't rule it as a femicide, it will be a homicide. Either way, she was murdered by these people, and it wasn't no accident. You don't just get a broken neck by this being in a hotel or a villa wherever they were at. You don't just turn up with a broken neck in a cracked vertebrae. I'm sorry, bruises, cuts on her lips, eyes all busted. Nah, that just doesn't just magically happen. She was beat up, and there's video evidence to prove that she was in fact beat up. They beat her to death. So let me know what you think in the comments section on this. It's very disturbing. I haven't been able to get it out of my mind, especially since I did the last video. It just breaks your heart. They said she was a sweet young lady. They say she paid for two of the people, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly, paid for two of the people's trip down there. So she was kind. She had a kind heart. I mean, she had a kind heart. She had two loving parents. You know, she seemed like she had a pretty good upbringing. She was a business entrepreneur. She was very successful. When you get to that level, you got to watch your association. And people you might think that you can trust, you can't trust. Even if it's somebody you've been knowing for years. People change. People change. They turn on you. Relationships change. People change. And so just but she had been knowing these people for a long time. She had been friends with them for a long time, so she probably trusted them. I mean, I'm sure she didn't think they were going to take her out, and she was only 25 years old. So when you're only 25 years old, and you only know what you know, and she said, well, these people have been my friends for a long time, so she felt like she felt comfortable with going out of town with these people. And apparently they had took trips before. So at 25 years old, you only know what you know. You know. So yeah. Anyway, I just keep the family in my prayers and hearts and prayer and condolences go out to the family. And I pray that they get justice. But let me know what you think of this in the comment section. Yeah, sound off in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And go ahead, like, subscribe, and share. Until the next video, be blessed.